Joining me right now to help connect the dots is Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. He is the ranking member on the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. I want to get your take on all of this. Is Hunter on the verge of being indicted? What would that mean for his father, President Joe Biden?
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's the short answer, but it sure seems that way. I mean, you mentioned those two stories from the Washington Post 10 days ago. Understand they were 4 minutes apart. One was at 11, one was at 11:04. So two 8-page long stories, 4 minutes apart from the news organization that said 18 months ago there was no story here. This was Russian disinformation. That tells you something is up. You don't see the Washington Post do that. I think it's interesting, too, Maria, how this story has evolved, how it has changed. Remember, it started off as, oh, it wasn't his laptop. Then it was, well, it was his laptop, but it was Russian disinformation. Now it's, no, it wasn't Russian disinformation, but Joe had nothing to do with it. And now, finally, it is, well, Joe had something to do with it, but he really didn't do anything wrong. In fact, that's what his chief of staff, Ron Klain, told us last Sunday on the Sunday show. So how this story has changed. And now we find out these text messages and emails that link the entire family, not just Hunter and Joe, but also Uncle, Joe's brother, James Biden, is involved in this as well.
Yeah, I mean, last weekend we showed many in the media who tried to help Joe cover it up right before the election, like Chris Wallace, who interrupted President Trump when Trump was saying, look, he took $3.5 million from the Moscow mayor's wife. And Chris Wallace said, wait, no, we're not going to go there. We have more important matters to discuss. Or John Harwood over at CNN doing the same thing. But let me get into some of these emails and get your take on it. First of all, we all know of the infamous May 13th, 2017 Tony Bobulinski email, which says the big guy, we are talking about the CEFC deal where they were all talking about who gets what equity. And in that email, it says 20 for Hunter, 20% for Hunter, and 10 held by H for the big guy. And then this morning in the New York Post, we've got more emails that indicate Hunter Biden was complaining to his daughter, Naomi, saying, well, you know, be happy that I'm not asking you, I'm not forcing you to give me half your salary. After all, I've been paying the bills for the family for 30 years. That is the dots that we are connecting, because while Hunter was taking in all of this money from foreign officials, Peter Schweitzer says $31 million alone from China, he was paying the family bills. So that tells you that this is likely a Joe Biden story, not a Hunter Biden story. Your reaction to this text that Hunter sent to his daughter, I hope you all can do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years. It's really hard, but don't worry, unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary.
Yeah. Now, a couple things. One, it sure looks like Joe Biden was involved. This was a family operation, including his uncle, as I said before. Second, remember what Joe Biden said in the debates 18 months ago. He said he didn't do anything wrong, and Hunter wasn't taking money from business interests with connections to China. There are 4.8 million reasons why that statement Joe Biden made was not accurate, because we know he took $4.8 million from CEFC, the Chinese energy company. So, yeah, this ties in the entire family. The thing that bothers me the most, though, Maria, is the conspiracy. The left always says, oh, there's these right-wing conspiracy. The real conspiracy here was the Democrats, big tech, big media, keeping this story from the American people just days before the most important election we have. Election for president of the United States, election for who's going to be the commander-in-chief, and you have a family involved with all kinds of foreign business interests, and we don't get to hear that story. And maybe the worst of it all was what 51 former intelligence officials did. That letter they wrote where they said, this has all the earmarks of a Russian disinformation campaign. That letter became the basis for big tech and big media to suppress this story and keep it from we the people in the run-up to our most important election. That's why we sent a letter to these 51 guys. We want to know who they were talking to, how they came to this conclusion, how they put that letter together, because that was the basis for the conspiracy that kept information from the voters right up before the presidential election.